Right, doing solid geometry for this square prism and pyramid. I'm going to start out and I'm going to draw an auxiliary view over there of the square. It has got sides 30 millimeter length. I need this measurement though from the center of that square over there to that corner. I then come along here with my 60-degree set square. You can see that line's drawn at 60 degrees there. I'm going to draw a line coming across over here, just a construction line coming down, and from that center I can now take this measurement from the center of the square to that corner over there, and I can then measure off from there to there, from there to there. And once I've done that, I can now draw the line going at 30 degrees. You can see it going at 30 degrees there. Take it across over here, like that. And I can take that same measurement that I've got over there and mark it off on there and mark it off on there. Once I've got that in place, I can now draw in that square very, very quickly. There we go. There we go. Let's take that, pull that across there, pull that across there. You'll see that I'm looking up from the base, looking at this thing, which means that I can see all of those lines going up. I can draw those lines in. There we go. Draw that in and draw that in. Once I've got that in place, I now need to drop these lines down into my front view. I'm just going to use some color here to get the construction lines. There we go, there we go, there we go. Draw in an XY axis about 10 millimeters away from the auxiliary view. Label it X, Y with block capital letters, please. Block capitals are very important. And it says that the base of this thing is on that XY axis, so I'm just going to measure off this distance down 20 millimeters. 20 millimeters coming down, measure it off 20 mils, and I can draw in this line going across over here. I can then draw in these lines going up over here, that, and that, and I can draw in the base nice and dark as well. Right. I need to find the distance to the top of this. It says that it's 85 millimeters to the top. Measure off 85. Go in over there, measure off that 85, label it as 0 as the apex, and you can then draw in these lines going up to the top there. All right, there we go, and there we go. Right, we've got the two views drawn. I now need to draw in the cutting plane. It says that I've got 9 millimeters over here to where it cuts the base. So I measure off 9 millimeters over there. And it says that I need to move 58 millimeters up. So I measure off 58 millimeters. And I measure from the base up 58 millimeters. Draw a line going across at that 30 degrees. Just take a line coming across over here. Cuts at that point over there, and I can now draw in my cutting plane going through this thing. Long dash, short dash, long dash, short dash, long dash. Darken it in over here. Label it as A and A. Right, there's your cutting plane in place. I now need to find all the corners of this thing. I'm going to label it number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Right, those numbers I'm going to place on this surface over here. Number 1, number 2, number 3, coming back to number 4 over there. Underneath number 1, I'm going to have number 5. So there's number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 5, number 6, number 7, and number 8. Okay, once I've done that, I need to find the cutting plane on this thing. I have got 1, 0 over there, and I'm going to label that point A. I can find that very, very easily on this drawing. There is point A. If I take a line going back from A, I can find point A on this line 1, 0 very easily. There is point A. Right. I can also see these 2 points on this line 3, 4, and 2, 4. 3, 3, 4, and 3, 2. I can take a line going back over here, and I can find those 2 points very easily. I'm going to call that D and E, and I'm going to label that D and E. This is the part where people get very confused. How do I find that point over there? How do I find that on this view without having drawn any of the other views? What I would suggest you do is, well, I know that that line over there, 1, 1, 0, is parallel to the XY axis. Therefore, this 1, 0 line over here is a true length. And I know all of these lines, because it's a regular pyramid, are the same lengths. I can take a line coming across over here from where it cuts, take it across, take it back to where it cuts this line 1, 0, and then I can take my pair of compasses, get that point over there, and if I draw an arc going around over here, I'll be able to find the 2 points that I'm missing. So I've got 2 points on this line. I'm going to call them B and C, and I'm going to label this one over here B, and I'm going to label that one C over there. Right, once I've got those, I can now draw in all the points that I need and have a line that is going to go from A to B, from B to D. I'm going to have a line that goes from A to C, and I'm going to have a line that goes from C to E over there. Right, it also cuts through at the bottom over here, and I'm going to call that F and G, F and G over there. I can find those 2 points on the base over here. Take that back, and I have got point F and G over there, and I can now see what my cutting plane would look like. I'm just going to color in quickly where the cutting plane is. Okay. You don't need to color in, please don't color in actually, but that would be your cutting plane over there. Right, once you've got that in place, you can then start drawing an XY axis over here. Label it X and Y. You can draw a cutting plane, not a cutting plane, an XY axis over here, XY axis over there. You can draw an XY axis over here as well. Label it all.
Please pardon the interruption for first break notices.
Once you've done your axes, you can now drop lines from all of those points going down and take lines going across from all of those points onto your left view and your right view on that side. Right, I'm going to then be able to take down, I'm going to start out by just looking at the cutting plane. You'll see that I've only dropped lines from the cutting plane, and I'm going to take those points. So there's A, find A, drop it down into the picture, mark it off, label it A, take that same point across to the left view, mark it off as A, take it across to the right view, mark it off as A. Okay, then we look at B. There's B, distance from B. Find B over here, drop it down to the XY axis, mark it as B. Take it across over here. There's B over there. Take it across over here. There's B over there. C is on the other side there. Measure that off. Find C. Take it across. Mark it off over there. There's C. Mark it off over here. There's C. And mark it off over here. There is C in that drawing as well. Right, and we're going to do that for all of the other things. We've done transferring of all the points using those measurements down into all of those views over there. You can see that I've got all the points for my cutting plane in all of the views. I can now link them up, and just by drawing lines going from A to C, C to E, E to G, F to G, D to F, B to D, and A to B. And I'm going to do the same thing in the other two views. Right. Because the solid is made up of two different parts, so I've got the prism and the pyramid part, I need to signify that when I come to doing the hatching. So you can see where it cuts through at this DE point over here, where the pyramid makes contact with the prism part. So I'm going to drop a line, a solid line going down between DE over there, DE over there, and DE over there. And then I need to hatch this so that it goes and shows that those two solids are different. Just doing your normal hatching, going like that across there, in that direction, showing the prism part. And this side, I'm going to go in the opposite direction over here. So just do hatching, going in the opposite direction. Should be done with a 0.3 pencil, this hatching. Nice and dark, but done with a 0.3 pencil. Right, that needs to be done on those two views as well. Once I've done that, I now start looking and seeing what it is that I can still see of these objects. Obviously, I must be able to see the cutting plane. My eagle comes down, it's touching the cutting plane. Everything underneath of that needs to be drawn into my view over here. So I need to transfer all of those points that I can see over here, 0, 3, 7, those points need to be dropped into this view so that I can draw them. The way that I do that, well, I'm going to drop some lines coming down from 0. I'm going to drop it down from 3. I'm going to drop it down from 7 over there. And then I can transfer those numbers. There is 7. I'm going to find 7 over there, drop it down over here, mark it off as 7 on my drawing. 7. Right, 3, same story. It's the same distance as 7, so drop it down into the drawing. There is 3 over there. Label it as 3. Okay. 0. There is 0 over there. Find 0 over here. Drop it down into the view and label it as 0. Right, once I've done that, I'll link that up and you can see what that looks like. I can definitely see these lines going from 7 to G and 7 to F. There they are, 7 to G and 7 to F. So I've got them in that view and that view. Therefore, I must be able to draw them in this view over here. There's 7G and 7F. I definitely have a line that is going to go between 7 and 3, but it is in hidden detail. So I've got a line going in as hidden detail over there. I've got a line that is going to go between 3 and D and 3 and E over here. If you look over here, I've got a line that can go from 3 to E and 3 to D. Note, it does not go from 3 to G or F. Definitely there's a line going over there in that view and that view, therefore it must be in this view over here. Hidden detail going from 3 to E and 3 to D. Right, once I've got that, I can now look at this idea of A to 0. You can see that my eagle would be able to see that line. So I've got a line that goes from A to 0. Okay, and then I start looking and saying, well, I definitely have a line that goes from 0 to C, 0 to B. Okay, I have got a line that is going to go from 3 to 0 as well. So there is hidden detail which is going to go all the way from 3 to 0 as well. And there you go, you have done the top view. Right, your top view and your left view are going to be very, very similar. You'll see that I need to remove that same part. So I'm going to be transferring 7, 3, and 0 again into this view. Take those points from here. There's 0 over there. Mark it off. Label it as 0, 7. Let's just find 7 and 3. There they are. Go to over here. There is 7 over there. And 3 is directly below that. So there is 3. So I've got 7 over there and 3 over there. Same story is going to happen. I can definitely see this line A. I can see this line going from 0 to C. I can see this line going from 0 to B. I've got a line that is going to go from point 3 to C, but that's hidden detail. Hidden detail there. 3 to B over there. Hidden detail. A line going from 7 to 3 as hidden detail. And a line going from 7 to F as hidden detail. And a line going from G to 7 as hidden detail. Right, there we go. There is your left view done. Right view is somewhat different from your top and your left view. The reason being is that this bottom part must now be taken away for me to be able to see that cutting plane over there. So the numbers left on here, it would be this 5 and 1, the 6 and 8, 4 and 2, and I need to transfer all of those numbers across using that same method, taking them off here, transferring them in here. You can see that I've transferred the numbers from here, 1 and 5, there's 1, coming from 5 and 1, 6 and 2, there's 6 over there, there's 2 over there. You'll see that they're the same distance from the XY axis. Same thing for 4 and 8 over there. Take that across, put it in. Right, let's have a look and see what we can see. Well, I'll definitely be able to see the surface up at the top here, so let's draw that in straight away. I have a line which is going to go from 5 to 8, and a line that goes from 6 to 5. I have a line which goes from 6 to 2. Got that line going down there. Got this line going down over here. Right. I have got a line which goes, let's have a look, between 2 and D. Okay, do I have a line that goes between 2 and D over here? So definitely 2 and D there, 2 and D there. So I can go between 2 and D over here. And I can go between 4 and E over there. You can see 4 and E, I've definitely got a line. I have got a line which goes between, well, let's have a look, B and D. Do I have a line that goes between B and D? Definitely there is a line that goes between B and D. So I can draw a line going between B and D. Do I have a line that goes between B and 2? B and 2 over there. Do I have a line going between B and 2 over here? Definitely. So I can draw a line going between B and 2 over there. And I can draw a line going between B, 4 and C for the same reason. Right, let's have a look at the hidden detail here. I have got hidden detail going between 5 and 1. If you look at this, I can't see through this thing, so 5 and 1 is going to be hidden detail. Then I've got a line that is going to go between 4 and 1. And I've got a line that goes between 1 and 2 over there as hidden detail. Right, and once that's done, I need to have a look at this G and F. G and F is linked up to 6 and 8. Let's have a look. There is G. G is linked up to 8. You can see that over there. And if I look over here, G is linked up to 8 over there, so I can definitely join that up. G and 8, I have a line. And the same goes for F and 6. Right, once I've got that in place, there is my right view completed. The last thing that we need to look at is the cutting plane and the true shape of that cutting plane. You'll see that I've loosened my page up. I'm going to get my my T-square lined up on the cutting plane like that and stick it down with some masking tape so that it doesn't move around. Right, once I've got that in place, I can now come up over here and draw some lines coming off the cutting plane, going out there from A, from B and C, from D and E, from F and G over there. I then draw in an XY axis, which is parallel to that cutting plane. Here we go. XY axis, label it XY. and y. And now you can take those measurements again, working off over here from the xy axis to B. Find B over there, take it up, label it as B. Go to A, take the measurement from the xy axis, find A, go up here, label it as A. And you do the same for all of the other letters that have all of those points transferred from here up there. I can then draw in the cutting plane. This is the true shape of the cutting plane. And again, I need to also signify the two shapes on here. So I need to draw a line going between D and E over there. And then I need to hatch this correctly so that I end up with the showing the two different solids joining each other. There we go, going in that direction, going in this direction, like that. Spacing my hatching quite far apart just to speed things up here. You can do that and life will be good. Right, there we go. There is our drawing completed and you can see the whole thing from there. Right.